Good morning, punters, and welcome to Big Red and the Silver Fox. This week, we're at Rosehill Gardens again. We're covering two races. We have the Tancred Stakes and the Vinery Stakes. I'm joined by my co-host, the Silver Fox himself, Tony. How are you, mate?
Yeah, very well, bud. Very well. Found a couple of little results last week. Wasn't too bad. Looking to put some more coin in the bank this week, mate.
Yeah, Mr. Brightside was nicely tipped by you in the All-Star Mile, mate.
It was really sort of felt the winner had to come in three. So yeah, I was used to pick the other two. It left me with one to pick. So that's how I come up with Mr. Brightside.
Rightio, we'll get stuck straight in. We'll start off with the Vinery Stakes over 2,000 metres for the fillies. Our track is a soft five. We've got rain on the way Thursday, Friday, and probably rain on Saturday during the meeting too. So we're looking at a heavy track, I'd say. It'd be soft to heavy, probably soft at best. So we need to find the mudlarks.
Yeah, looking for mudlarks. I'm going with the Kiwis. I like it.
So we'll have a look at our markets for the Vinery Stakes. So, as you said, the New Zealand filly comes over Prowess, $2.50 for Vitra, $3.40, Fireburn, $8.50, Soul Choice, $13, Hierosa, $13, Paul D, 17s, 23s for So Dazzling, longer the rest. We'll give a slight mention to Byron Bell because I know that you don't mind it at 67s, mate.
I got a little inkling for it. Got a couple of friends down there, and one of them seems to think that the horse is going very, very nice, and like the idea that Tom Marquand will ride it. He seems to get the best out of a lot of them sort of horses. So hoping it can fill a hole for us at the big odds. They're going to have something smaller place on it.
Oh, yeah, here's our speed map. What were your thoughts here, mate?
Uh, Probably the most important thing to look at is Pavitra's last run in the Kembla Grange Classic. It's anything that finished behind it that day. I just don't think they can sort of turn the tables on it. They weren't good enough on a whole, and they haven't shown sort of enough that they can do it. So she just really stands out to me. The speed does look about right, punting form, their systems and their programs that they have in place. It highlights how it sort of works out 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. They Go what our horse obviously just leads for funny. I think Soul Choice, Pavitra sort of can sit wherever it wants, and there's a lot of back markers in the race, so sort of sets it up for those horses sort of on speed or just off the speed, like your Pavitras and your Prowesses. Precluding Club's actually scratched, so there's another one out of the ones that goes forward that won't be there. So they could probably just run it to suit up there.
Yes, yeah, they're definitely. And Mark Zara's come up to rider. He must have a good opinion of her. And the form out of New Zealand, I think it was Frank last week with that other mare running about behind Animo. So I think she's one of the standouts of the day.
Rightio, we'll have a look at Prowess's last start over in New Zealand. This was Prowess's last start in the Group 1 over in New Zealand. She's just there sitting second in the yellow. Some familiar horses we've seen over here in the past. You got Le Creek behind it in the red with the white sleeves, and Defibrillate's next to it in the black. So they've actually both performed well down at Flemington in the past. So the form sort of translates across here, which is nice. What do you think of this run, Tony?
Yeah, well, she's been a tried and tested performer over here in Australia, so you know that she beat decent class over there. You know that sort of class is going to come over here and stand up and be counted. Pavitra's, I don't think she's beat any. She's met this sort of class and come out on top. So that's why I think she'll finish in front of Pavitra. The barrier is going to be a big help to her too. She can just be put wherever she wants.
Yeah, interesting to note. Last few starts though, she has a tendency to, when she sort of gets under pressure at the end of her races, Prowess to duck in and duck out. Like last start in this replay we're seeing here, she ducks out significantly in the last 100. And it was actually a protest second versus first, but she was going away from him on the line, so that was never going to get upheld. But just interesting to see when she's been put under pressure that she sort of wants to do a little bit wrong, which you can't really do in big group ones like this. So she'll need to turn up with her A game, I think.
Yeah, she definitely will. She definitely will. She's an improving filly. Every time she's come out, she's just improved. She's found another gear. I yeah, and just you can start betting now and back her all the way to the Oaks. I think.
We'll have a look at Pavitra's last start here at Kembla Grange. So this is Pavitra sitting outside lead in the blue silk, light blue and dark blue. Not an easy time outside the lead here. They sort of took her on from the bend. One on the outside actually looked like it was going better than it on the turn, and I thought Quaddie might have been the winner. And Pavitra's just absolutely blown him away here this last probably 3 to 200 meters and just really savaged the line. He's really looking for the 2,000 meters now, I think. Third up from a spell, and you can't say much bad about this win, can you, Tony?
No, you can't. You can't. The Big Red's got it spot on. The race worked out for her. It was a good ride by Chad. The race definitely worked out for her. She got a nice, easy, cozy run. And if she hadn't kicked away and beat them like that, yeah, she'd be with same price as the rest of them in this field. But because she did win by 4 and looked so convincing, she's definitely some sort of hope of putting Prowess to the sword on Saturday.
Yeah, the thing I like about her over Prowess is like the stable's flying, firstly, and secondly, like it just seems like an ideal prep to go like first up, nice run, second up, bolts in, third up, peak, ready to go. Hasn't had to travel. Like Prowess has been up since December. Like there's been some spaces between runs, but it's a long time for a horse to be up, especially a 3-year-old filly, which fillies can be very temperamental and go to pieces when they don't want to win. But she's shown that she can win and loves to win. But that's just sort of the edges I thought with Pavitra, just ideal prep, third up, 2,000 meters, just looks very hard to beat.
Yeah, so I like the fit horses going in on a soft track. A lot of the arrows point towards Prowess. She's fit. She likes the soft, and change is as good as a holiday. So she'll be over here in the warmer Queensland weather, warmer New South Wales weather, and she'll be living it up, I think.
Sounds like we're head to head there. We've got it as a 2-horse race, and you were given a slight push to one of the big odds for maybe a place.
Yeah, the one down number 10, Byron Bell. She's definitely some sort of hope. Like the way it beat Hollywood Hero. Hollywood Hero's come out and raced good since. Made the form look good. Tom Marquand, he's my all-time favourite jockey. I just can't put a big enough wrap on him. He wins on him at any sort of price, and I just gonna throw something small on her in the other place, and maybe throw her in the first 4 as a knockout.
Yeah, she'll definitely go in the quaddie just in case at those prices. We'll move on to the Tancred Stakes. So we have a staying contest here. We'll bring up the markets. We have a few going around from last weekend on the week back up. And they had our market. So we've got Gold Trip, 420, Montefilia, $5, Knight's Order, 850, Cleveland the Import, $9, Vow and Declare, $10, Alpha Horo, 11s, Sir Lucan, 11s, Stockman, 13s, King Frankel, 13s, Explosive Jack, 23s, and Longer the rest.
What'd you come up with, Big Red?
I don't like the favourites. I'm staying away from the favourites, and I'm going to play maybe even 4 horses in the race just at big odds. We'll see a few replays here, but the ones that I sort of like are Alpha Oro and Explosive Jack out of the Canberra race, Canberra Cup, and King Frankel and Stockman. We'll bring up this last start replay that King Frankel comes out of.
Favourites definitely had hard runs last week on a stinking hot day. I definitely agree with you there. It's a tough effort for these trainers to get these horses to back up, and they're too short for my money to warrant sort of taking them little risks and throwing good money chasing Not a lot of return.
Yeah, well, I thought it was interesting with Gold Trip. I noticed blinkers were off, like week back up, blinkers off. And when it's won all its races, like when it ran the Cox Plate, it had blinkers on. When it ran the Melbourne Cup, it had blinkers on. I just thought that might have been a bit of a, they sort of probably scratching their head after last week, and they thought they had to change it up going on the week back up with no blinkers. But a wet track will help it, and monophilia. It's just like I just can't take those prices for like horses on a week back up, and it's going to be like a heavy track. And like their runs last week, they both got blown away by that import. That import put what 6, 7 lengths on them. No thanks.
Monophilia owes me more than what it's worth. I can't stand her.
We'll have a quick look at this speed map. So we've got the two Gay Waterhouse horses out in front. King Frank will tucking in just behind, and then the rest of them sort of go back or sort themselves out from there. What do you think about the speed map, Tony?
Uh, Knight's Order does definitely is the leader of the race. Gaze likes that horse running along. It's chased him along in good quality races. Soft track's going to suit it. Sir Luke, another one of Gaze, it'll be up there humming along. I think Stockman from the 7 can finish a lot closer than that last column of horses. I thought it raced good last week. And Montefilia, it'll be a little bit further back. I think its best run for a considerable amount of time was just ridden quiet and that chased home. Soft track definitely does go in Monofilia's favour. So if this rain hangs around and it does get softer, it comes to the fore. But once again, it's one of them horses that had the run last week in the 34 degrees belting sunshine at Golden Slipper Day.
All right, have a look at this last start replay. One of the key lead-ins for the race. In the lead, we've got Knight's Order there. Stockman in second. King Frankel's back in the white with the blue cap, the 15. There's some of the key runners I wanted to highlight out of this race. Knight sort of led him up this day. Stockman was actually ridden like on the speed, which is strange for it. It's a versatile horse, but I thought this was still a good run for it, ridden on speed. I think it's better ridden off speed. So it wasn't a bad run, and it just looks like it's going to peak for this. It's fourth up to 2,400 meters. It's pet distance. I just loved its run, and I just think it's going to be a rock hard fit. Who do you like out of this race, Tony?
I actually do like a couple out of this race. I like Stockman. I like the fact that the jockey showed a little bit of initiative. They've gone through their speed maps, gone through their form, and put their horse in a position to give it a chance. My top pick for the race is Arapaho. I liked its win in the Canberra Cup, and got a rough little chance for King Frankel. He was the boom horse coming into the race last prep, and protagonist sorted him out, and he didn't shirk the job. He didn't sort of give in to the task. He still kept attacking the line. I think he'll appreciate the extra journey, and Tyler Schiller on the back of a Group 1 last week. He'll be flying along this Saturday as well.
Yeah, I love King Frankel too. I was on him first up. He was a good win first up. I thought he might have been a little bit flat second up, but I still thought his run was really good. Um, Now he's third up, which is peak for him. His best runs in Australia been over 2,400 metres, and I think arguably his best win was in at Newcastle, its first ever run here over 2,400, and it was on a wet track and won by about 6 lengths. It was an easy grade, but I just think he sort of handles all conditions, and will just sit just in behind the speed there and just be very hard to beat. Like I don't think he should be that price. Like I think he should be around maybe $8, $7, and like you can shop around and get 14s. Like he's nearly double the price of what he should be.
If it was handicap conditions, you'd see a huge difference. But you've got a Melbourne Cup winner meeting all of these horses on same weights. The weight for age just brings it into perspective as being a standout. So I can see why they put it favourite, but I just can't come into him for the same reasons that you believe. And I think that we're going down the right track, throwing these longer priced horses into the Quaddie.
Yeah, I'll give a slight mention to Explosive Jack. Can't let him go around without saying something about him. I've got a future on him in the Sydney Cup at about $51. He ran second behind Alfaro, and I thought just looked like he needed more distance. I think if it was 2,400 meters, he runs over the top of him, and I think he's back to his best. His best form as a 3-year-old. He won 4 derbies in one prep. Like if he gets anywhere back to that, like he was smashing Montefilia when they were 3-year-olds. Like so, if he's anywhere back to that sort of form, he's better than Montefilia. But and we're getting the price to find out, $24s or $26.
Yes, that's where we like them.
We move on to the Big Red and the Silver Fox Quaddie. We had no luck last week. What happened last week?
We're all around it, Big Red, but we just can't crack it. We've had a couple unlucky
Shin,
beats.
Shinzo got us out of there last week in the slipper.
Yes, kicked us in the guts. None of us saw that happening. It looked like a horse that needed to be out and just with a bit of air in its head, and we
Somehow
got
got
that
it.
one wrong.
Somehow
Got it.
got all the air from one.
Yes.
Rightio. So first
First,
leg. Who
first
you
leg
got,
of the
mate?
quaddie, I'm sticking with Prowess, but just as a roughie at the real big odds, I'm going to throw the 10 in.
Yep, Byron Bell. So we'll go 1 Prowess, 10 Byron Bell, and I'll throw in Pavitra, the 3. So there's 3 runners there. The second leg. Who do you want here, mate?
I still like Arapaho. I think it's one of the better bets in the race, and I'm going to throw in Knight's Order just for the soft track and the fact that it's going to be leading and have the stablemate sit outside it, so it's definitely going to be able to control the pace.
Yep. So we'll have 2 Knights Order, 5 Arapaho, and I'll throw in my roughies. So I've got Stockman, the 4, Explosive Jack, the 6, and King Frankel, the 10. So we'll throw those ones in. So we'll take on the favourites there. So it'll be nice for the quaddie if we get that leg up.
Be cheering, be
Um,
cheering. We
next next
move to
leg.
the ninth.
Yep, the ninth,
Talking to
third
them.
leg.
I come out with 12 of the 13. Waterford, I liked his run last start. I know you're not a big fan of the horse, but I think that he's turned the corner and he's going to really stand up. And Munamek, the Melbourne forms come up. Regan Bayliss to ride. I give him a real good chance.
Yep, so that was 12 Waterford and 13 Moormac. I'll throw in the favourite Crosstalk, the 5, and one of my best bets, roughies of the day, Wellwile, the 15 at $16. We'll throw it into. Lucky last, we'll go 5 runners. You like Mautai, the 6, mate?
Yeah, I don't mind it. Give it some sort of hope. And one down in the weights with a claim after it. It'll be carrying 52. Reece Jones to ride. Hasn't got the best barrier, but give it a rough chance. The 14, come Fee.
Yep, there's just some odds in there for us. And with them, we'll throw in Wicklow, the 8, Substantial, the 11, and Ida, the 13. So another few roughies there taking on the favourite in the last. So $100 will get us 33.33%. That should get us a few beers, mate.
Definitely be drinking a box of the 8 Northern if that gets home, mate.
Rightio, well, that'll do us for this week. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to like and subscribe to the YouTube and follow us on our Twitter. Thanks, mate. Have a good weekend.
All the best, punters.